the Langford matter. This is an initial permanency hearing, and if I could have announcements, please.
Melinda Powell for the Department of St. Francis Permanency Specialist. Today is Whitney Brown.
Thank you.
Patty Edwards for respondent Alexis Lyons, the mother, and she was on earlier and told it wasn't until 10:20, so I don't know. I'm trying to reach her to get her back in, but I have had discussions with her. She did want to make her own statement, so I'm hoping I can get her back in.
Okay, thank you.
Ryan Brown for Brandon Langford.
Thank you.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Paisley.
Thank you. Ms. Powell.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would ask that Miss Brown just be allowed to give an update to the court.
Thank you. That'd be fine.
An update on Paisley.
On the child and in regards to the parents and their engagement services.
Okay, Paisley's doing very well. She, we were worried about her gaining weight for a while, but she has since picked up and she's been gaining weight really well. She had some heart problems, but she's recently gone to the cardiologist and all of that has cleared up. All the holes in her heart are closed. And so she's doing really well with that. She's on making progression on all of her milestones, holding her head up, maintaining eye contact, looking around, being interested in things. She's doing really well. Brandon has refused to drug test for the past 2 months. He did go yesterday. We don't have results from that. But he has not shown up for the last 2 drug screens that he was requested to do. So his visits with Paisley have been stopped until we get a clean drug screen from him. And then Alexis has been doing drug screens for us. She, in January, tested positive for meth in her hair. And so she still has her visits as of now. Yesterday, she was sent for a drug screen and she did not, she went, but then she had a liquid with her and refused to drug screen at that point. She's also, during her visits, has displayed some behavior that we've been concerned about. She's been falling asleep during those visits. She is taking methadone daily, she has told us. We're waiting on a release of information to be signed for the methadone clinic that we've been waiting on to be able to talk to them, but she has expressed that that's the reason that she's doing that. I don't know what's going on there, but there is some concern there.
Have the parents engaged in any of their other services?
Alexis has done her counseling. She's gone to 6 visits, but we have not received a recommendation from her counselor after that as to whether she needs to do more. She has reached out. She's done her OSAR and reached out to begin those services, but she wanted to wait until she completed her counseling before she started those. She is, yeah, that's how that's going. Brandon has had appointments for his OSAR assessments, but he has not attended either of those assessments or either of those appointments for those assessments. And he has completed 2 of his counseling sessions, but has not done more than that, to my knowledge.
Okay, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I know that let's see who we got on here. Mr. Brown, any questions?
Have you had any communication with Brandon at all over the last couple of months?
We did have, I guess, beginning of last month, I didn't for a while, but I have now gotten back into, he has contacted me. We've gotten back in touch. And he did go drug screen yesterday. So, but other than that, no, sir.
And you said you don't have the results for those, for that drug test yet?
No, sir, not yet.
Has he told you that he's got his own business now that requires him to travel a lot and he's a little stretched thin.
He has said that, yes, he has told me that.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Thank you. Ms. Edwards.
One moment. I'm frozen.
No, you're back on.
Oh, okay. Ms. Brown, was the test yesterday supposed to be a hair follicle test?
No, just a UA.
Okay, so my client explained to me this morning, or she reported to me this morning, that it was supposed to be a hair follicle test. And that when it was just the UA, she didn't figure that the UA was going to give you the results of what you needed. Additionally, I don't know why she hasn't signed the release for the methadone clinic. We'll definitely talk about that. Is there a way to get a hair follicle test scheduled anytime soon?
We do hair follicles every 4 months. So her last one was in January. So we'll do that again, February, March, May.
Okay, and she can't get one done sooner?
She's welcome if she would like to go and do that on her own. She's welcome to do that.
Okay. Her indication to me was that the first test to the one in January, there still wasn't like a full 90 days. And of course, I'm brand new in this file, so she had the way she wanted to explain it. But since she has not come back on despite numerous text messages to her and a phone call, she is going to be left with what we discuss here. So I thank you, and I pass the witness.
And Your Honor, if I may follow up on that line of questioning in regards to the drug screens. The hair follicle and the UA measure very different things, as the court is aware. And so we would ask that she submit to the UA drug screening. If she wants a hair follicle, that's fine, but we believe that the UA would be absolutely necessary as well.
Thank you. Ms. Zavala, anything from you?
Yes, Ms. Brown, I didn't quite understand what you were saying about the drug test. Were you saying that you said something about liquids? Tell me what that's about.
So we just have the report from the drug place sent to us, or turned in, submitted, but they said she had an unknown liquid on her that she was unwilling to identify. And then at that point, she refused to do the drug screen.
Like she brought it with her to the facility?
Yes, ma'am. To my knowledge, yes.
Okay.
You had mentioned before that there were concerns about mom falling asleep during visits.
Yes, it's literally like she's nodding off, and she can be doing things. This past visit, when I was with her, she was on her phone. She was looking some information up for me, and even during then, she just slows down and nods out. I don't know how to explain it other than that, but she has mentioned that the methadone that she's on makes her drowsy, and that it's not, she has to take it every morning, and that it's not, there's not a certain time that it happens. It just happens randomly. And so she's kind of chalked it up to that. I don't know, and I haven't been in contact with the methadone clinic. I went down there myself to try to turn in the release that we have for her, for them, and they wouldn't accept it. They said they had to have one of their own that she signed, and she has not done that yet.
So as far as you know, mom has stated she's taken methadone daily for 3 years?
Yes, ma'am. She did tell me the last time that I spoke to her on last Thursday that she was planning on trying to wean off of it. And so that's what she was working towards now. But like I say, I haven't been in contact with the methadone clinic to know that from them.
And mom herself is the one that tells you that this methadone makes her react in that way.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. In terms of Paisley, she's placed with her biological brother.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is doing extremely well there.
She's doing wonderful. Yes.
I pass the witness.
Mr. Brown, I see that your client's in the room. Mr. Langford, I need you to take your hat off. You're in court, sir. Thank you. Do you, would you like to ask him any questions or visit with him for a second? I don't know what you want to do with that.
I don't think I need to, Judge. We talked like for a while yesterday, like I said.
Okay, thank you. All right, so is there anything further? Have we seen the mother yet? Rachel?
No, Judge, she's not in the waiting room.
Okay,
And Your Honor, I do have one concern in terms of the drug test and failing to drug test and the fact that there was meth in the hair screen. I think mom needs to UA, and I think her failure needs to be considered a positive. And I'm very concerned because of the way meth is transferred skin to skin about continuing in-person visits if she is not cooperating in drug screens.
okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, anything else, Ms. Powell?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, anything from you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And Miss Edwards.
No, Your Honor, nothing from my side.
Okay. Have you been able to represent what you think your client would have brought to the court today?
Yes, Your Honor, she did not inform me that she brought an unknown liquid with her, so that is a surprise to me. The only thing I would, I guess, submit, as well as being a registered nurse of 40 years, I do know methadone can cause seizures. And some of what is being explained sounds like it is maybe a petit mal seizure that she just kind of zones out. But without further testing or further anything to back that up, I wouldn't be able to substantiate that. So just that it is a possibility, especially if mixed with other medications, antidepressants, alcohol, other drugs. So it can be known to cause seizures as well. But that would be just a medical background of 40 years. And that's all I would be able to say to that.
Sounds pretty expert to me, so thank you. Ms. Zavala, anything else from you?
No, Your Honor, I just recommend that placement continue.
Okay, so it appears, Mr. Langford, you are here now, and thank you for finally drug testing. And of course, we don't have the results of that today. But I am going to order the mother, she needs to sign that release for the methadone clinic and do a UA prior to her next visit. And I'm ordering that there not be a visit until she's done those. We are halfway through this case. That methadone release should have been signed a long time ago. So that's a very simple thing to do. Very easy, just needs to sign the release and test. I don't care what the results of the test are. She can still have her visit, but she needs to do those. So if you'll please place that in the order.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So everything else looks as though it's proceeding. The parents are doing their services somewhat. I would, and Mr. Langford, I'm required by law to remind you that you have to work that service plan. So please stay in contact with your caseworker and your attorney. If you do not work your services, that can be used against you at the final hearing in this case to determine whether to restrict or terminate your parental rights. So please stay on top of that. There is, sir.
I have a question. I've tried to say contact the OSAR already, and I've let my attorney know that she is not answering my phone calls or replying back to me. Like, I can't do nothing about it. I don't know what to do now, about the OSAR stuff.
And Ms. Brown, did you address that a minute ago?
And just that he had a couple of appointments scheduled and was no show with them, but I don't know. Other than that, just that she had a difficult time getting in touch with him in the first place. And
I've never had an appointment scheduled with OSAR at all. She's called me and I was at work, and then when I tried to call her back, she did not answer. I got a 10-minute voicemail I got to listen to every time.
Well, Let's do this. Let's have, Ms. Brown, can you visit with, call the OSAR person, get about 2 or 3 good dates? Let Mr. Langford know those dates, and he immediately needs to respond to you to set up that appointment.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you would act as an intermediary with that, that'd be great. Mr. Langford, you understand that?
Cool with that. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
And
Uh,
another thing, if you don't mind,
Yes, sir.
on my drug test, I went in to take a drug test yesterday. It was supposed to be a hair follicle. It was a UA. Okay. I've not been refusing my drug test. I've literally just, the last time they told me going for a drug test, I had an hour and a half time, I think, to get there, and I was already headed out of town for work. There was no way I could turn a 40-foot gooseneck around with the truck and trailer, and make it back in time. So it's always been work that's interfered. It's not because I'm refusing it, it's because I'm not able to get there.
I would suggest that if that happens again and that you just can't get there, that you document that and send it to your attorney so that he can represent you with that and talking to the department about maybe days that that you're in town driving. I don't know what your job is, but
I'm
maybe you have a
eligible
better
every day.
time.
I'm available every day. It's just I just need adequate time, like a half a day's notice to get there, so I can move things around on my schedule.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, whenever that happened the last time, I tried to reschedule and move his appointment to where he was going. I tried to move it to, I believe he was going to, I don't know,
Right.
somewhere near Dumas, and I tried to move it to Dumas, and he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I couldn't do that because I was already late for the customers. You can't just pull in anywhere with a 40-foot gooseneck trailer and a big rig truck. And I mean, come on, let's be real about it. Like, you gave me an hour and a half time, an hour to get there. And it's an hour drive to Dumas as it is. And I was going to Sunray. I've never felt, I've passed every day.
Brandon, let's talk
Yeah.
about this and handle it
Okay.
a
Yes,
different
sir.
way. Okay.
Yes, sir, Mr. Brown.
And Mr. Langford, there's a common ground in there because you got to remember a lot of people know how to beat a test, and if you give them a half a day or a day, they can dilute their test. So that's why they want you to go when they tell you.
Yes, ma'am. That's fine. I totally understand that.
Okay, so talk to your attorney and maybe he and
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Brown can come up with something. Okay,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
thank you. All right. Anything else today from anyone?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and I think I stated all the times y'all are getting together, didn't I? The second permanency is set for July the 7th, and the final at this time is set for September the 15th. All right. Thank y'all very much. Yes, sir.
I do know Lexi called me. She thought the appointment was 10:20. She already got on Zoom and they kicked her out of the waiting room. So I think she was thinking 10:20 was supposed to be court.
Okay. Well, it's 10:23 and I'm not seeing her. You seen her, Rachel?
I've not seen her, Judge.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, just tell her we proceeded and her attorney was here and represented her very
Okay.
well. But
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
she does need to get that methadone release ASAP.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all very much. We'll go off the record.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are hearing 955E FM on Barnes, and this is a permanency review after final order hearing. If I could have announcements for who's here.
Thank you, Your Honor. Janelle McBride for the department, and the permanency specialist for St. Francis Ministries will be Jaleesa Bird.
Thank you.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Zach.
All right. Thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Wright.
Thank you, Judge. With the court's permission, I would appreciate the caseworker being able to provide the court with an update at this time.
That'd be great, Ms. Bird.
Yes, so Zach is currently in a foster home. He's been in the home since August and doing really well. He played baseball this year, so he's in activities. He's been on the A and B honor roll, which is pretty much the first since he's been in care. So he's really thriving in his placement, loves his placement. He talked about staying there until he is older, and they welcomed basically anything that he wants. I've encouraged him to reach out to Miss Burks He has talked about missing her and wanting to reach out. It kind of fluctuates. He'll say, I plan to reach out, but when I attempted to, I just did not make the call. And so I tell him that, she checks in monthly. She wants to know how he's doing. And so he's glad to hear that, but he just still hasn't reached out. She did send a letter to him. I have not gotten an update from Zach on how he felt or thought about the letter. But overall, he's doing really well in his placement, and Ms. Burks has continued to stay in touch with me.
Is he graduating in May?
I do not think this May. I believe it would be next year.
Okay. And what's the plan for him? Is he going to stay in care then?
So we did talk about potential for the placement to potentially look at taking PMC. We did previously talk about adoption. Zach mentioned he didn't want to be adopted. I know that has kind of changed. And so we talked about he does want to stay in his foster home, and his foster home welcomed that he can stay past 18. And basically foster home said, this is our kiddo, and want him to be successful. So he does want to stay in the home. Just as far as the legal side of it, we're not really sure if we can do PMC or what that would look like.
Okay. So, Mrs. Vala, do you have any questions of the caseworker?
Miss Bird, has he gone through the PALS program?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
And he has completed his courses and continued to work with PAL.
Okay, good. And then, Your Honor, no other questions, just an update whenever you're ready for that.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Go ahead.
Okay. So Zach's still got one more year of high school. He's really looking forward to trying football for the first time as a senior. He sounds really great. And his plan, at least when he told me, was to stay right where he is. I had thought that it would need to be an extended care situation, and he believed that his placement could keep him past 18 in an extended care. But that was going to be my question. At this point, adoption is not a legal option at this point because he was adopted by Miss Burks. And so her rights are still in place. But he is perfectly happy with his situation, just continuing in care and staying where he is. The one request to me was if I had any information or contact information for his younger siblings, and I reached out to Miss Bird. I know she's tried to locate them in the past. I don't know if Miss Burks might have some information on them, but he would love to be able to visit with them at some point.
Great. So, he does want to stay in extended jurisdiction and extended care.
That's what he told me. He may not realize all the different options, but I was asking him, can the foster placement keep you even after you turn 18? And he said, that's what I believe, and they say. So I don't know if it will be a situation where it's actually continued care, or if what Miss Bird was saying, just that they keep him on an informal basis after he turns 18. I didn't know if that was an option.
Right. Have they been presented with the fact that they can actually receive funding to keep him in their home while he goes to high school? Miss Bird,
That I don't
have you
know.
talked to him about that?
Yes. When I talked with them, they basically stated anything that Zach wants. And that was, a couple of months ago. I am meeting with Zach and the family this month. So I plan to kind of have more of that detailed conversation and options just in case, that was a couple of months ago. So things have probably changed. He was pretty newer to the home. So I can have a more detailed conversation.
Good. Well, y'all have a hearing set for September 3rd. He doesn't turn 18 until the 15th. So definitely needs some resolution at that hearing. So as to what he's gonna do, if he's gonna stay in care. Okay, and I see that Miss Burks is here. I'm sorry, Miss Burks, I'm not real familiar with this case, but do you have something you'd like to say?
No, ma'am, I was just gonna let Stacy know that I can try to get some information on my nieces and nephews for him.
That would be great. I know he would love to be able to visit with them. And I think, truth be told, I think he'd love to visit with you too. I think maybe he's just worried or because it's been so long, but I think he cares about you very much.
Yeah, me too. I miss him. So can you let him know that whenever you talk to him?
Good. All right, anything else on this case then? Sounds like Pal's all done, which is fabulous. And then, we need to have some resolution before he turns 18 as to what his status is gonna be with CPS. Does he have his birth certificate and all of that, driver's license? What does he have?
He has his birth certificate. His placement's supposed to take him to get his social. And so it was supposed to be scheduled a couple of weeks ago. So I need to follow up if they did receive that and if they need any help with that.
Okay.
And then they will apply for his ID.
Okay, what about a driver's license?
Yes, we talked about a driver's license. I know that he started to learn kind of how to drive. So I think they're still kind of in the beginning stages of that, but we can definitely help and support.
Okay. All right, well, you got a little checklist for the September hearing, but it sounds like we're on the right path. Anything else today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and Stacy, I guess you and Cynthia Burks talk, so if you'll just keep up with that information about the kids and everything. All right, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
This
Thank
concludes
you.
this hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
As noted earlier, I have not been able to contact my client. I'm here and as ready as I can be, Judge.
Thank you.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
All right, Ms. Powell.
And Judge, with your permission, I'm fine with handling this informally. Let Miss Elliott just give the court a status update.
That'd be fine. Thank you.
Miss Elliott, go ahead.
Okay. Eternity, she's doing great. She was having weight gaining issues, but she is currently 9 pounds as of today, so she's slowly gaining her weight. She had a ECI evaluation on February 12th, but she didn't qualify. She was diagnosed with GERD, which is like acid reflux. So she's taking 3 medications for that, and it seems to help. And she also sees her chiropractor twice a week to help her loosen up. I have made several attempts to contact Charles, through phone calls, which his phone's been disconnected, and the only address I have, which is in Wichita Falls. I've written him letters, and I have no response. Cynthia did come to the office for a visit on the 10th to go over assessments and her family plan of service. And she also does not have a working number for Charles, but she is willing to work services. She did go for her drug screening yesterday or on the 10th after her visit. That's really about it. The family plans weren't signed because I was unable to get them to sign them because no email addresses, but they were filed.
Miss Elliott, did you mail the service plan to Mr. Vinson's address?
No, I have mailed him a letter. I have not mailed his family plan of service yet, but I got it in the mail.
Okay, so will you do that today?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. And you said that you did discuss services with Ms. Fuentes?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go over her service plan with her?
Yes, ma'am. And my parent support worker has sent in the referrals, the service authorizations to get these started also.
Okay, did you provide a copy of the service plan to Ms. Fuentes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you plan on getting that signed and getting her signature filed with the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions from anyone else?
No questions, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Your
Any
Honor.
other? Thank you. Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, is he an alleged father? Do we have a paternity test? What do we have?
He is an alleged father, Judge. I don't know that he's requested any type of paternity testing. I can follow up with either Mr. Nowak or Mr. Eldridge following court to determine whether he's going to want that.
Okay, so he didn't sign an AOP at the hospital?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, somebody needs to follow up on that, at the status hearing, please,
We
since
will,
we're
Judge.
there. Okay. Can establish. Okay, I think those are the basic issues, and the child is placed with foster care. Are there any, have y'all found any family?
I have sent in the kinship request to our connection specialist, and she will work on it. She has a few more before that one that I'm currently waiting.
Okay, well, you might want to speed her up. You're 60 days in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Ms. Sapien, does your client have any family members that she's that she would like to be considered quickly?
Your Honor, I will ask Ms. Fuentes to unmute, and Cynthia, can you unmute your device?
Okay, yeah.
Cynthia, the judge is wanting to know, and we would all like to know, do you have any family members that you are wanting to be considered as placement?
My Aunt Sarah Alonso, she's off of 3406 Southeast 14th.
Okay, and that's Sarah Alonso or Lonzo?
Yes, Alonzo.
Okay, alrighty. And Cynthia, did you have anything else you needed to talk about today or any questions?
No, ma'am.
And you do have a copy of your service plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you have my office number and know how to contact me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, the aunt that I spoke to yesterday, is that Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, I will make sure she gets the number to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. I don't have anything
Thank
else,
you.
Judge.
So, Ms. Sapien, does Sarah want to be considered? Is this something we need to push forward?
I believe so. Miss Elliott, have you been given her name before?
Yes, it is on the sheet that I sent to our connection specialist. She has all of Sarah's information.
Okay. Can we,
Let's expedite that a little bit. Okay.
Okay, I will reach out to her today.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Okay. Anything else today?
Judge, while Ms. Fuentes is unmuted, Ms. Fuentes, do you have any idea where in town I might be able to find Charles? It's been reported to me that he might be homeless. Do you know where he might stay or hang out or anything like that?
I don't know. I think he was trying to get a hold of Sandra. So, where I used to live on Hayes, but I could see if she got a hold of him or not.
If you would do that and let either Miss Sapien or Miss Elliott know, I sure would appreciate it because I need to get a hold of him and be his lawyer.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And Judge, thank you for letting me ask that question.
Sure. Anyone else have anything today? Okay. So I find that the department has made reasonable efforts, and I'm pushing the department to look into Sarah today. Please at least do a quick criminal check to see if she is eligible to be looked at for placement. I will bring the plans forward that have been, have they been filed, Miss Elliott?
Yes, Your Honor. They were filed on March 3rd.
Thank you. So those plans will be brought forward and made an order of this court today. And let me talk to Miss Fuentes for just a moment. Miss Fuentes, your service plan basically outlines what you need to do in this case. Do you understand what's expected of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you know how to get hold of your lawyer. In fact, I suggest that you make an appointment and go see her in the next couple of weeks and go over that plan extensively in case you have any questions. But I'm required by law to tell you that you've got to work that plan. If you
Yes, ma'am.
don't, okay, if you don't, your rights to this child could be restricted or terminated. And the fact that you do not work that plan could be used as evidence against you later in a final hearing. So please know this is serious and
Yeah.
please work that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the next hearing is what's called a first permanency hearing, and that's going to be about halfway through this case. And that's where they're going to look and see what you've done and what kind of progress you've made. So please, by the time you have that hearing on July the 14th at 9 a.m., please have been working your services. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Have you been having your visitation?
No, I haven't, not yet, but I was supposed to have it Tuesday from 1 to 2.
This coming
Um,
Tuesday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so please attend that, and then with the age of the child, they should be you should, once you get everything up and running, you should be having your visitation pretty frequently. Okay,
Okay, okay.
all right. Anything else today?
No, ma'am.
All right.
No, Your Honor.
Thank y'all very much. And that will conclude this hearing, and I wish you good luck, Ms. Fuentes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll go off the record.
Thank you, Cynthia. You can log off now.
Okay.
Okay.
For this next one, I need Jalissa Bird.
Okay, we're still a little early. I think we're set to start at 9:20. So
At the 9:20, yeah.
yeah, I'll watch for her.
Thank you.
Okay.
And
See
I
y'all in
have
a sec.
Miss
In the matter of Gaffard, don't know if I said that right. Close enough, though. This is a status hearing, and if I could have announcements for who's present, please.
Melinda Powell for the Department of St. Francis Permanency Specialist today is Jalissa Bird.
Vince Nowak on behalf of the mother, Dunya Lahizo. Dunya, I practiced in front of a mirror today. I hope I got that right, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Sad thing is he did practice in front of a mirror. Brooks Barfield representing Gregory Gaffard.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
And both parents are present?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Powell?
Your Honor, with your permission, I'd ask that the caseworker just be allowed to give an informal update.
That'd be fine.
Go ahead, Jalissa.
Okay. Yes. So Aaliyah is currently in a foster home. She's doing really well in her foster home. She's eating, sleeping well. She did have some issues at the beginning with behaviors, but she has adjusted and is going to a Mother's Day Out program and just overall meeting milestones and doing really well. Parents have agreed to work services. They have signed their family plan of service. And they're currently having virtual visitation due to parents not living in the state.
Okay. Any questions, Mr. Nowak?
I don't have any questions. I'd just like to thank Jalissa for always staying in good contact with me. And I'm just happy that she's the caseworker for Dunya. And it's my understanding, Jalissa, that everything's going as well as it possibly could be going. Is that correct?
That's correct. And thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And Judge, I'll pass the witness.
Thank you. Mr. Barfield, any questions?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Zavala, anything from you?
Yes, Jaleesa, I just wanted to double check. I know she's in a very appropriate and good foster home. Are there any home studies or family that we're looking at for placement?
Not at this time. We did put in a request for a connection specialist. So we will continue looking for family but there are no current home studies at this time.
Okay, so no names provided by either parent.
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have.
Well, my concern is, since both these parents are out of state, how are they going to work their services and be verified by St. Francis?
So we have started to look for services in their area that would qualify for similar services that we do have here in Texas. There are a few services that are online that parents can complete. So that's currently what we're doing, is looking for the services that are generally in person here that can be held in person in their county.
And I'm not trying to stir up bad feelings or whatever, but have both of these parents been cleared in the sibling death? Are there charges pending or what?
I believe charges are pending, but I don't have that knowledge at this time.
Okay. So I'm going to assume, since both of these parents are represented by very good lawyers, that both of them have warned them of their Fifth Amendment right. Is that correct, Mr. Barfield and Mr. Nowak?
Yeah, I will not be calling my client at any hearings. Let's just put it that way. So yeah.
That's a pretty good statement, Mr.
And
Nowak.
I'm jumping on Brooks's coattails, Your Honor. We won't be testifying.
Okay, so then they have duly been noted and warned of the criminal charges that are pending. Until they're cleared from that, then they really won't be talking a lot. So whatever services you find for them out of state, they're going to have to be aware of that situation also. And so I assume that as far as you're concerned, Ms. Powell, there are no aggravated circumstances at this time.
Judge, I don't show that there are any pending charges. I think it's still under investigation. I just checked our court stuff. I will follow up in regards to that. And if I find that there are going to be charges, that we will probably follow up on the aggravated circumstances. But right now, I just don't have enough to proceed with that.
I think everybody's on notice then. So as far as today's hearing is concerned, though, that the family plans have been signed, which is part of this hearing, and I will make them an order at the court today. I will emphasize to the parents, if there is any relative that you believe would be able to pass the scrutiny of the court and CPS, please give that name to your caseworker or your attorney, so that we may look so that your child could be with family rather than foster care. And the next hearing in this matter is what's called an initial permanency or first permanency hearing. That's about halfway through this case. It's a really important hearing. Whatever services you have lined up and set up, you need to be working and have them all to your caseworker. Since y'all are out of state, this is going to be rather difficult. So you'll need to make sure you stay in contact with her a little bit above the average as to consistency. I'm required by law to tell you this at this point in time. If you do not work your services that are in the plan that you signed, that could be used as evidence against you in a final hearing, and your rights to this child could be restricted or terminated. It's not a threat, just a fact, required by law to tell you that. I do find that the department has made reasonable efforts at this time, and that burden has been met. Anything else today? This is sort of a little sensitive area at the moment, but if there's anything else we need to talk about, this is the place.
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
Okay. Good luck and thank you very much. We'll go off the record.
Thank you, Judge. And Dunya, I'll be in touch.
Yeah, that's the same, Mr. Gifford. If you have any questions, just contact the office. Okay.
We've got a few minutes if y'all want to go into a room while you've got them, since they're out.
You know what? If you
That'll be fine. Yeah, if you want to put us.
Rachel, could you put them each in separate rooms, or I don't know if they're together, whatever you all want to do.
Let's go to separate rooms. Just
okay. Thanks, Rachel.
And Judge, with your permission, I'll leave Zoom court from that breakout room.
Oh, please do.
Wow.
Thank you, Mr. Nowak.
Thank you, Judge.
Comments.
See ya.
This is an initial permanency in the Velarde matter. And if I could have announcements, please.
Melinda Powell for the Department, the St. Francis Permanency Specialist today is Courtney Brown.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of the respondent mother, Ruby Renteria. I believe my client is present under the name Lorenzo Velarde, and I'm ready.
Thank you.
Patty Edwards, attorney for the respondent father, Lorenzo Velarde, and we are ready.
Thank you.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of Violet.
Thank you very much. Ms. Powell?
Judge, with your permission, I'd ask that the caseworker just be allowed to give an update.
That's fine. Thank you.
Yes, excuse me. So Violet is doing well. She was discharged from the hospital down in Houston on the 31st of December. Since the discharge, she's been doing fairly well in the foster home. She is a medically needy child, so she does require a lot of medical attention. The foster mother has been getting her to all of her appointments to get her oxygen and her feeding, and all of that monitored and on the correct dosage. It's still, they're still trying to find the correct balance for all that, but she's doing well. We are hoping to have her moved back up here to Region 1 by the end of this month. So once she is back up here, we are going to start facilitating those weekly in-person visits with the parents. They have been doing monthly visits down in Houston, so they have been able to see her in person at least once a month. Parents have completed a majority of their services. I believe Ruby has completed hers. We are just waiting on the BIP class for Lorenzo. And I know that there's been some lack of communication from the BIP, but I was able to contact the coordinator yesterday, and I passed on Lorenzo's number, and he is planning to make contact with her today, if he hasn't already, to get that going. Violet does have a tracheostomy, so they will need to do a trach care training whenever she is moved back up here into Region 1. Lorenzo had called the hospital, and they said that they needed to do it in person with the child. So we're hoping once she's back up here, we can facilitate that with both parents.
Okay. Let's see, Ms. Edwards, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor, but my client would like me to bring to the court's attention, or at least respectfully state that although the court has ordered the BIP classes, those were originally ordered when there were some allegations of family violence, and those charges were never brought forth, and they were actually dropped. He is concerned that the BIP classes are 4.5 months and that there are sanctions potentially against him if he were to miss a class. They are physical in-person classes. He doesn't want this to come back and hurt his case. If he's sick, has to take his wife or his mom or somebody else to a doctor appointment. And understanding, as Courtney said, there has been some difficulty trying to get these scheduled. He respectfully doesn't still see the need for the BIP classes, but if the court orders them, he will move forward. But he would like in the alternative to continue doing maybe additional parenting classes instead.
Ms. Powell, would you like to respond to that?
As the court is aware, there can be allegations of domestic violence without charges being brought, Judge. The fact that there are allegations of domestic violence raises concerns here, and the department would request that father attend the BIP class. If a person is sick, if there's some sort of emergency, the BIP coordinator, they do will allow them to miss a certain number of courses, Judge. We would just ask that it be ordered. It was included in the plan for a reason, and even if charges weren't brought, we believe that they would still be necessary.
Thank you. Do you want to respond to that, Ms. Edwards?
Your Honor, I understand, and I did explain to my client the same thing, that they're not, he doesn't feel they're necessary, but there's always something to be learned if they are still ordered.
Thank you. Do you have anything else?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
For the worker? Okay. Ms. Sapien, any questions for the worker?
No questions for the worker, Judge. I just am happy to hear that the plan is for Violet to come back to Region 1 and increase visitation. And I would like to tell my client thank you for working so hard at completing your services.
Thank you. Ms. Savala, anything?
Your Honor, no questions, just to thank Courtney for all of her great communication. We've got all kinds of documentation on how Violet's doing. I'm very excited. She's going to be moving to region to allow those visits with family.
Thank you. Looking at the report, my question to the worker is in the report that the father was not drug testing. Has that been done?
I did ask him to hair follicle for me in February and he refused. So he said he would do it this month if it was court ordered by the judge.
So
So
ordered.
if we could do that today, as well as a UA for Ruby, please.
Okay. A hair test and a UA is ordered today. When do they close the lab? What time do they have to be there by?
You have to be there by 4 o'clock, Judge.
Okay. That'd be great. 4 o'clock today. And then have they allowed you into their home?
Yes, I was able to go this week to see the apartment that they're living in. It was appropriate and they do have things set up and ready for Violet should she come home.
Okay. So even if she's in Region 1 and not in Amarillo, they can still do training in Amarillo. Is there a place that somebody will teach them how to take care of this child?
VSA does the training, so we would just have to facilitate getting Violet there to meet the parents, but we can work on that when she's placed and settled.
Okay. Okay. And is the father adjudicated at this point? Is he the legal father?
Let me go back and check on this, Judge. I'm not real sure. I took over for Daniel, so I am. My order still shows alleged father on here, so he may not be adjudicated yet.
I am the father.
So, Mr. Velarde, are you stating in open court today that you would like to be adjudicated the father of this child?
Yes, I am the father. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have the right to request a paternity test if you so desire.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not asking for a paternity test?
No. I'm not. Oh no, I'm the father.
Okay. So, Ms. Powell, if you'll do an order adjudicating, that would be great.
I will do that, Judge. I just looked back and he was not adjudicated at the status hearing, so I will get that put in here.
Can you tell I used to be the managing attorney at the AG's office before my career as a judge?
I can tell, Judge. I can tell.
Okay.
We'll get that taken care of.
Okay. I think those were all of my questions. Do you have any other witnesses, Ms. Powell?
I do not, Judge.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't have any witnesses, but I do want clarification in regards to the order. Did you order father to hair in UA and mother to UA today?
Nobody asked for the mom. If the department would like that, that's fine.
I think she kind of trailed off and said UA on mom, and so I believe that she is asking for
That'd be
that.
fine. Obviously, they're together, so they can get off of here and go do it. Yes, UA'd be fine.
Thank you.
Ms. Sapien, any questions or any witnesses?
Nothing additional, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Edwards?
Nothing additional, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. And Ms. Savala, anything else for the court?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hi, Judge, this is Ruby.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am. I have to work at 2 p.m. to 10 today.
Okay.
Is
And
there any way that I could take the test on my day off?
It's 10 o'clock right now. Why can't you go between now and 2?
Okay, no, we could do that. Okay, sounds good.
That'd be great. Okay, I do want to commend the parents. It looks as though this is going to be quite an experience for you guys. It's going to be quite a trek. So thank you for already starting to work your services and get into that training so that y'all can hopefully transit her home to you. Are y'all a couple?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But just a clarification, so then the BIP class would still be required, or are we gonna do something about that, or?
No, the BIP class will still be ordered. That came from Judge Baker, and she heard all of the testimony in the adversary hearing. So I'm going to go with her good.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Anything else?
No,
Okay,
Your Honor.
this is what's called the first permanency hearing, and that means we're halfway through this case. The next hearing will be the permanency review before final hearing. That is set for July the 7th at 9 a.m. The bench trial for this case is already set for September the 15th. Let me remind the parents that this is a very crucial time because these cases are supposed to be heard within a year. So hopefully things will start moving fast and we can get your child up here. I'm required by law to warn y'all that you've got to work these service plans, and thank you for starting to do that. If you do not, the fact that you don't work those service plans could be used against you as testimony to restrict or terminate your parental rights at the final hearing. That's not a threat, it's just the law. I'm required to tell you that. So please talk to your attorney if you have any questions or any issues. I do find that reasonable efforts have been made, and I commend the department for trying to and hopefully getting this child back into the region as quickly as you have. That's not the norm, and I do appreciate that. So, anything else today?
No, Your
All
Honor.
right. Nobody's screaming and yelling and waving at me, so thank you. We'll go off the record.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.